Welcome to Car Talk with Matty J. Another Tuesday night, another car show. Big show on tonight. We've got Rhys K. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. How you been?
Not bad. Can't get you away from the place. You've had a taste for it, and now you're back again.
Absolutely loving it.
Yeah, it's good, mate. And James from Evers Movies, what's going on?
How you going, mate?
Missed your show today, James. What movies are you talking about?
The Ninth Gate. It was a 1999 kind of mystery thriller starring Johnny Depp.
Any good?
It was alright, yeah.
Okay.
It was good up until the end. The end kind of craps itself.
Okay.
I just thought I'd do something a bit different.
Yeah. No, it's always good to throw a spanner in the works.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do like a motorway special.
Yeah, that'll be good.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
It's a good movie, that one. For our fans who love,
Car chase movies.
And cinema that's not from the Western world.
Yeah,
So,
which is often better than Hollywood crap.
big time. Now, we'll move on because we got a big show to get through. The big news is if you're watching our Facebook page or you saw our video live, we were racing on the weekend at Winton for the Nugget Nationals. I know, Rhys, you saw the video, you commented on it.
I'll be honest, I had the phone on behind the counter watching live at work.
I mean, that's where I should have been really at work, but it's...
That's right, man. I'll have you covered anytime.
Thanks,
Thanks, Rhys K. You're gonna have to come next time. We're gonna have to get like a support team and just
like pit crew.
Pit crew, yeah.
And we should get matching
man.
jackets. Oh, that would be so cool.
It'd be dope, Pats.
Like a Thunderdome special.
Oh man, it'd be killer because we're still gonna have to do it. Or I don't know if you remember in the initial live action movie, they had like the full race team and like they had with all their jackets. So we're totally gonna do that.
We need a logo.
Yeah, it's called Boho the White Knight. So that's what the car's called.
Team White Knight.
Team White Knight, I think would be pretty cool. But then we might get sued by the Council of Melbourne. Because they hold White Knight here.
I thought you were going to say we get sued by the KKK.
Or that.
Damn, I left my hat at home.
Oh man, we'll just start our own bonfire. Anyway, so we were racing on the weekend, and it was my first track day.
Explain what the Nugget Nationals is.
Please do.
We'll get to that in a sec, because the Nugget Nationals are it's actually kind of getting pretty big now. It was kind of a joke a few years ago, but now what the Nugget National is we've touched on it during the last few episodes of last few weeks of Car Talk, but basically what it is, it's a competition for it's a track day for cars of engine sizes from up to 1.5 litre. So you can't have an engine size bigger than that. There was other cars on the track day that had those sizes, but they obviously weren't part of the actual Nugget National competition. And
it's like time trials. It's not a race.
Yeah, it's time trials. Yeah, so it's like best time and stuff, and you run all day, and the day actually flies once you're going through it. I didn't know what I was going to expect going to a track day. No, James had no idea.
I've never been, yeah.
So it was kind of an eye-opening experience. It was really chilled.
Yeah, I was expecting everyone, to be like so many people that you're all kind of packed in like sardines, and like there being like all the pits like cut off and no one's allowed to, talk to each other, but it was so chill. Like we'd just walk into other people's pit and just be like, hey, what car, where are you from? We'd just be like everyone's just walking around talking to each other. I walked the track and took photos. Like it was super chill.
Yeah, it was obviously, to me, it was probably the most chill event I've ever been to.
Yeah.
Like, I've been to like music festivals, this, that, and the other. I've been to like car meets that haven't been as chill as that. And this was that chill. The people were just so friendly.
And the people who run it were really nice.
Yeah.
And they made sure everyone was aware of what's going on. No one was left out.
Nah, everyone kind of felt like included.
Even me, like I have no idea about cars, but even I could just go in and talk to someone, and it was a lot of fun.
And it really solidified the feeling of camaraderie between car races, because like everyone was helping each other out.
Yeah.
I mean, there was an accident on the run, or on one of the runs. Actually, she was one of the organisers, and everyone was really there to support her. And obviously, when you crash your car, it's not a good time. Yeah. But everyone was really supportive, and like, well, you're going to get back out there. Everyone was always backing each other up, which is a really, really cool thing to see. And it's I guess that's what motorsport kind of does. It does bring people together,
and people are really respectful on the track. Like even though technically it is it wasn't a race against the car in front of you, it was a race against your time. But there are other cars on the track with you. but everyone's like really respectful. Like there were no, no one was trying to run you off.
Yeah.
It was really really cool to see.
I mean, when I was on the track, there was like pretty much no one was being a dick. Like you'd get your Evo and or WRX that was coming up, right behind you, and they'd be on your tail, so to move over, and then you'd move over, and they'd wave you to say thank you, which is just great. And they wouldn't try to overtake you in the corner because it might be a bit dangerous. So they'd wait for a straight, and you'd give them the pass by with the indicator, and they'd straight by, and they'd give you a wave. Really really respectful. It was I think because it's budget motorsport, really these cars are like worth nothing.
Yeah.
Except for like your higher end cars that were there on the track day as well. Everyone kind of respects what they have and what the other people have, which is really really good. Because in a lot of other forms of motorsport, especially even in car meets, they're like, oh, you roll up to a car meet, oh, what have you got? Oh, I've got like a for example, a Corolla, but it's I love my car, it's all I can afford. Oh, as if you buy a Corolla.
Why would you bring Corolla here? Like there, it's like people embrace that.
Yeah, it's
like
so
the
good.
Crappier the car, the more people will embrace you.
That sounds awesome.
Dude, it was honestly the most fun I've had in so long. I've never, as I said, I've never been to a track day, never committed in a track day, but it was kind of, it was really. One, I was scared shitless. I was terrified. I'm like, oh my god, what am I going to do? But it was the moment I got on the track, it was a completely different mindset, and everyone was respectful of me because they've never seen our car before, so it was like, and the people behind me like, yeah, this guy's got definitely no clue what he's doing. I missed like every apex. I went off the field, I went off the track. I understood so badly that one corner I could see the end of the road and I just kept going straight. It was so bad.
All right.
But it was a good laugh. It was a good laugh.
You did end up getting the best time of the three drivers of your car.
I did. So out of me, Anthony, and the other Matthew, I got the best time. And considering I didn't get any training, as they got training, they got like training runs. I got nothing. I'm going to take that as a win, to be honest with you.
And you also beat the other Paseo that was there.
Yes.
So the White Knight was a 91.
91%, and the other one was a
Toyota
95.
Paseo, and the other was and you beat that guy.
Score one for the good guys.
Hashtag Paseo Planet. Hashtag Pass Life.
Pass life. Well, look, we've got to get to our first break of the night. We'll continue this right after this. So we'll talk about more like the other day events, I guess, that happened. There was a few really cool cars that were there.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that.
Talk about all the cars.
Yeah, there were some sick cars there. So we'll talk about that right after this. You're back on Car Talk with Matty J. That was Mazdi, or I just like the name from because it looks like Mazda, with fading out. Really cool track. We're back on Car Talk anyway. Talking about the Nugget Nationals. It was a really really long day. I mean, James and I were up since about 4:30 in the morning.
Took us what, 2 hours to get there?
2 hours to get to Winton. But it's an easy drive, just down the Hume. The Hume's the most boring bloody road in the world. But anyway,
Paddock after paddock.
Yeah, that's all it is. Yeah, trees and there's cows and that's pretty much it. But when we got there, we had
drop bears.
There was drop bear warnings as well. There's signs of drop bears.
Stone koalas. Let's be real.
Oh jeez, well that's what they are. Honestly, they are dead set stone 24/7. Those
the wrong eucalyptus.
Yeah. They're in the right eucalyptus. That's what we're talking about. No, it was good. We had a proper nutritional driver's breakfast, Macca's breakfast.
Oh yeah, egg McMuffin, bacon egg McMuffin,
bacon egg McMuffin, with an orange juice, and then we hit the track. It was funny when we're driving up. We were seeing all these nuggets. Like they were driving there as well. So that insane Mirage passed us. That one that was just loud as crap. The RX-8s and other things that were going there. So that was pretty good.
Yeah, we saw them driving up the freeway, and then of course when we got there, all lined up in the pits.
Yep.
You go, that's the guy we passed.
That's the guy that passed us.
Yeah, mostly they passed us. That Mirage was crazy. It was like
how quick was it?
It had like shark teeth, shark mouth paint job around the front.
It looked
like
cool.
Like an old fighter jet.
It looked sick.
It was like all grey, and he was going ham around it. It was like, wow. It was so good.
it was so damn loud.
There's a couple of Mirages. There was a purple one as well.
Yeah, there was, and there was and they had tons of what they have what's called Nissan Micros. They had a few Nissan Micros. And they had Daihatsu GTVI.
That guy was killing it.
That guy was, but that guy's apparently a Porsche, like an ex-Porsche driver.
Yeah.
So no wonder why
You
he was
can
like
tell.
killing it. Yeah.
Like
no
it
doubt.
was the cheesiest, crappiest looking car. This little Daihatsu, like red, bright red.
Dude, he was pulling away from me on the
He was
straights.
killing it. You could tell that guy could drive.
Yeah, he could definitely wheel. Like he was so smooth through the corners. I was like far out. And anyway, when he had his like cool down lap, I caught up to him, and I was trying to follow his line. And even when he on his cool down lap, I still couldn't keep up. I'm like, I think I'm a good driver, yeah, but I got on the track. I'm like, I am terrible compared to these people here.
Did you have your gloves on?
I did have the gloves
you have
on.
gloves on?
I had the gloves on. I had my helmet on, as you do. But I tell you what, though, the little Paseo, it did all right. It was the car that ran the most on the day, because every like second or third run it was out there, and we were caning the thing. I hate to say what the oil temps were because that would be just through the roof. But cooling wise was perfect. It didn't fault the whole day.
No, we were waiting for it to die. Never happened.
Never happened.
And we drove it home as well.
Yeah, and we drove it home. It didn't miss a beat the whole day. So I'm like, that is actually not too bad for a car that
We had
cost
bald
us-
tires.
Oh yeah, the tires were trashed. We sold the fronts to the back, and we trashed the fronts again. So yeah, the sidewalls were going through hell, especially on Prius spec tires. We're definitely gonna have to get some semi-slicks and stuff for the next run, and like I said, we've got a few mods planned with some lowered springs. But in terms of how it went on the day, touch wood, it was really solid car, and yeah,
Like, the Paseo, like, everyone was worried about, how crappy it was. But honestly, we were getting so many compliments.
we're getting so much love.
Like, everyone was like, oh, it's so clean. I was like, the other Matthew was one of the drivers. He's like, oh, I'm worried, like, it's not very fast. I'm like, but everyone's complimenting how nice it looks. Like,
Yeah.
it has a really nice profile. And I was like, every time it came past, I was like, yeah. I'm like, if it's not the fastest car on the track, it's one of the nicer looking out of the Nuggets.
It
at
is,
least.
yeah, it is.
It was pretty cool. And, people just like to look at it. So
Yeah, as I said, it got tons of love. Like the scrutineers, when they came around, they're like, "Damn, it's really clean." These are the people that would making sure the car was right to go, and they're looking inside the car. They're like, "This ain't bad." Like, they're talking to Matt. Matt's like, "Yeah, we got it cheap." They couldn't believe how much we got it for. They're like, "You know what? You've done well here." They're like, "Just it's first track day. You're probably going to destroy it." But anyway, it's I think one guy was like, "Does it rattle?" We're like, "No, not really." He's like, "It's going to have rattles by the end of the day." Because on the rumble strips and everything, it copped a bit of a beating, but you know what? It was it took it in its stride, and it was absolutely magnificent. Best thing I've done in a long time, and I reckon it's
a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun, and
Yeah, do it again.
100%. There was some other really cool cars out. I mean, like they had a Porsche GT3, which was on the track. They had a crazy blue Evo. How nuts was that thing?
That guy, he came first, right?
Yeah.
He got the
quickest time of the day.
time. He was going ham.
Yeah.
Like every time he come, just like wouldn't even turn around the corner, just go straight through. Like
Yeah.
it's just amazing.
He's driving. He looked so flat. Like I thought the GT3 would have him on this track because basically Winton's pretty tight and technical. I mean, it's got a few straights, but it's most of the time it's pretty technical. And I thought, this is when the GT3 will come into its own. Even though Evos are good in the corners, this thing, I kid you not, Rhys, was insanely fast. It was, he had full body aero kits and everything on it. It was, it looked set up, and when the guy was driving, it looked unbelievable on the track. So,
Was that still counted as a nugget?
no, it was not in the Nugget, thing.
It's still on the day.
But it was still in the day because when the spots don't fill up, they offer the spots to other drivers, and then
There's sort of a mix between, but everyone's respectful. So if your Nugget's like putting along, and the Porsche comes up behind you,
You know to move out of the way.
to move out of the way real quick.
Otherwise, get ready to call your insurance company.
Well, as insurance for coming out.
well, there was that Mini as well. That was nice.
Yeah, there was a John Cooper Works Mini. He was going ham as
Yeah,
well.
he was going ham.
And that had an exhaust. And it was one of those turbo ones. It sounded good. You hear it like crackling, popping off boost. I'm like, that's pretty damn cool.
Tire screech, just the whole bloody thing. Even when you're going straight, all you hear is tire screech.
Two-stepping along.
Dude, the tires on the Paseo were that bad. Like they were brand new tires, but they were just pre-spec tires because it came with the car. you're going straight in the squealing. That's how bad they were. Like,
Far out.
we'd rip it into a corner and it just like, it'd understeer so bad because it just had no front end grip. But it was good. I got the rear end to rotate in the end, and like I spoke to some of the people because as I said previously, I didn't get any training with any of the instructors there, whereas the other guys did. So I kind of just like figured it out on my own. But the guy in the pit next to us, his name is Jay, and as in Jay. He was like super chill. How nice was he?
Yeah.
And
What was he? Was that an 86?
he had a Toyota 86, and it's like his 20th or 30th track day. He constantly goes to track days, and he's like to me, the best way to know the limits of a car, well, coming into the brakes, even if you're coming into a corner really, really slow, jam on the brakes as hard as you can to get what the feeling of the car is on the brakes. So my next round, like my first round was terrible. I was all over the road. The second round, I actually took into account what he said. Even though I wasn't going as fast as I could have, I really slammed on the brakes and got the car to rotate in because I felt the back end twitch, felt to come round, and it was really probably the best help I got of the day.
Yeah.
Considering, as I said, I had nothing. And then in my final round, I put all that together, and I got the best time out of the day in the Passat, which is really cool. I mean, Anthony and Matthew were calling it hacks because I had like no fuel left in it by that stage.
Yeah.
Like it's lightness, man. It's lightness. It's not skill.
We were worried we'd have like breakdown on the way home. Not breakdown, run out of fuel. On the way home.
So we and there's like nothing in the way there.
Yeah.
On the way back, we're like, surely it's the
On the way there, it's like petrol station, truck stop. On the way back, nothing. And we're like, the needle's dead, like dead. It's on empty. We're like, come on.
No, it was good though. We got there, we got back, and didn't use a drop of oil, didn't smoke, didn't do anything, and it's. Big ups to the big Paseo because that's stage one. I think the next round's going to be at Sandown, which is a bit more of a hardcore track. It's a lot more got like higher end straights because I think that I topped out at just under 150, and then I had to hit the brace in the corner. There were some people in like their ears were like going 250, 260, 270.
Jesus.
And I'm like, man, if I had the F6 out there, should get the SS out there, Rhys.
Need to go out there, man. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
It was honestly massive amounts of fun.
Yeah.
It was a big day. As I said, we left at 4:30. We got back at about 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it's like I was buggered. It's a long day. I went to bed like just before 10. So it was
And like you said, like it runs all day. So you get in, you get on the track. There's different groups.
Yep.
You get in, get on the track, and there's like 10 cars maybe each run.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
And then what you use is 12 minutes.
12 minutes, and after 12 minutes, you come in after that.
You come in after that, and then the next group goes out. And then we'll go run. But because we had 3 different drivers,
the Paseo was always
was on 2 out of 4
runs.
groups.
Yeah.
Far out.
Yeah.
So just constantly running, and it killed it.
It didn't fault though. So I hopefully I don't jinx it now for the next round.
You're gonna have to put a picture up on your Instagram page to show everyone.
Definitely, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it on our Facebook page as well. There's some other photographers there.
I've got some photos I have to upload as well.
James got some photos he's going to upload, so that's going to be killer. We're going to put that on the CarTorque Facebook page. So like our CarTorque Facebook page, I'll mention it now anyway. It's CarTorque TORQUE with Matty J. And you'll see all the latest updates. You'll see our videos when we go live. If you've got any comments, just put it on there, and I'll be happy to respond. But yeah, overall, James, what did you think? It was a great day.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I was expecting it to be way more high pressure, but it was so chill. The weather held out
because they said it was going to be raining and stuff.
And
it rained on the way. Like just before we got home, it rained. I'm like, yeah.
The day before was that really, really windy day where just branches were like flying off on the road, and we were like, oh crap! But it was like
the wind's going to push the Paseo backwards.
But yeah, no, it was so calm.
Top out at 170.
Or give us a back wind.
But no rain, nothing. Sun came out after a while.
It's actually nice when the sun was out.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was a really, really good day. So definitely for our first track day. And I think to be honest, to do a track day in like a really crappy car first makes so much better before you do it in like a really high performance car.
Yeah.
I guess you get to learn a track, you get to learn lines, you get to learn, everything at a lot slower pace, so you can then build up your skills to take on a more powerful car.
Definitely don't want to put your F6 in the first wall.
Definitely not. I mean, I was saying to you on the way back, James, I'm glad I did this in the Paseo first, because if I was to bring it in the F6, I would have probably crashed.
Yeah.
There is like so much power under there, and if you don't know what you're doing,
Into a wall.
Turned terribly bad very quick.
Into a wall, into another car, into the kitty litter, into getting stuck, into getting towed out, into not being happy and crying. That's where I'd...
A couple of people had to be
Hashtag
towed
Matty
out.
J would be the Bachelor.
Oh, yeah. Definitely after that, yes. Oh, man, it was so good. No, it was a good laugh. Definitely gonna go out there again. I want to probably try to take the F6 on a run. I might even take the laser out on there just on the next time. See how that goes because that'd be kind of equal to some of the quicker nuggets that are there.
Yeah, it would have fit in nicely with all the other nuggets.
Yeah, definitely. But anyway, we'll move on from the Nugget Nationals. Rhys is back in the chair, so he's done a couple little things to his car.
A lot more cleaning, as always.
Mate, it is the shiniest thing I've ever seen. You when you go out tonight, James, you will see this thing. It's pitch black out there, but you will see just a red beacon of light.
Oh, my eyes.
My eyes. These goggles, they do nothing. But yeah, you get that many compliments, especially at work. Like I was at the counter. And this guy's like, he was like to his son, that's a really clean ass. I was like, oh my God, it's one of the guys I work with. I was like, oh yeah, tell him it's really nice. And he went out there, he was admiring it. No BS, man. He's like, this is a freaking nice car. I'm like, it is. It's spot on. So tell him, what are your tips in cleaning a car? Because I obviously do the 2-bucket system, this, that, and the other. But your car for some reason always looks perfect. What is your secret? It's like when girls talk about cosmetics. How do you look so class? How do you make your car look so
Do
good?
YouTube tutorials.
Oh, you should do YouTube tutorials.
You literally have to find one brand and just stick with
to it. Yeah,
So for me, the Maguire's range is just absolutely
it's pretty good stuff.
The bee's knees.
Yeah.
To the point where now I'll actually trial stuff for Maguire's before we put it into the shop. So, the latest one was the NXT
wax.
Tech 2 wax.
Yeah.
It's a class above the liquid wax.
I tried a little bit of that, as I told you. Really, really good. Really good. I'm going to do my whole car in it now.
It's even cheaper than the liquid wax.
There you go.
And, so, I always find between polishes, a good clay and a wax, it just brings it up even more. Even, if for me, even guys, come in and car's only a few months old, mate, you still clay it and wax it and it'll look amazing.
I mean, some people, especially when they buy a new car, they get the paint things and all the extra stuff to make the paint protection and all that to make it look really good. But then when they take it to a proper detailer, they do paint correction. They put under under UV lights and under other lights. They're like, wow, this is swirl marked everywhere. Their detailers have done a terrible job. And it's kind of really, it ruins the car. So to see that, when you work at a mechanic, like a automotive, parts store, to know what you're talking about and to show your car as an example to people, it's a great spot. It's a great selling point.
I definitely think that's why it gets, washed 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And now, clayed and waxed every fortnight.
Yeah.
And then, cut and polished every 3 months.
Yeah.
A good cut and polish.
Yeah.
Just to, really show what a car can look like if you actually keep it up.
Keep it up, yeah. And it's since you've had the car, it's every day I look at it, it's like spotless. I really should say that about my laser at the moment. It's pretty damn filthy, which is really rare for me because usually my cars are pretty clean. I mean, you've seen my F6. My F6 is usually spotless, but that's all got bugs on the front of it from going to the Nugget Nationals on the Hume. So I got to really really clean that. But yeah, no, it's it's a testament, man, how clean your SS is.
It's commitment.
It is commitment.
It's something like, a lot of people have hobbies, play musical instruments and that, where, for me, it's, I've pretty much got detailing down to, wash, dry, cut, polish, within 2 or 3 hours. And it's really not a lot. So even for me, I'll polish it before we go to a car show.
Yeah.
And people say you're crazy, get up at 4 o'clock and head out at 6:30.
It's commitment, man.
What you do.
It's the car life, though.
I've never had any formal training, and the car looks good. I'll be teeing Maguire's up for a job shortly.
Maguire's, if you're listening.
Well, it's always the hashtag when I put up a photo, just to
Hashtag
let them know
Maguire's, yeah.
it's still coming.
No, overall though, sorry, I'm losing my voice. We get a lot of customers that kind of come through our doors, and we always try to for example, like for me, I try to say, when they come to me like, well, how do I keep my car looking top? I'm like, well, the first thing you need to do is really get on top of it. Because as soon as if you let it go, it's going to take too much effort to get back. You'll be like, stuff it in the end. Whereas if you're always on it, you're going to be wanting to keep your car good. And I always say, for example, go look at the car outside. They'll be like, which one? Like the red Commodore, and you'll see what I mean when a car when it's been upkept. And I always come back and say, wow, it's stunning. I'm like, well, this is what you got to do to keep it this way. So I'll always recommend, like, obviously, the 2-bucket method. When you're washing the car, which the 2-bucket method is just so for people that don't know what that is you've got fresh water, and you've obviously got your soapy water with your car wash in there, and like after you go over the car with the the lamb's wool mitt or microfiber sponge, which is what I like to use. You dip it in the cold water, in just the standard water bucket, and wring it out so like all the grit stays in that one.
Yeah, you don't dirty your soap.
So you don't dirty soap, so you're not scratching the car with all the dirt going back on it, which is helped my cars immensely until I found that out.
And you don't realise until you actually leave that first bucket overnight, and you get all the crap at the bottom.
Yeah, you realise, holy crap!
Wow, I normally put that back under my car.
Yeah. It's a massive thing. So even if you're not doing it properly, just do the 2-bucket method. It's such a great way of washing your car.
And I always keep my sponges and my chamois wet.
Yeah.
So like I'll wash them out after I wash, and then get half a bucket of clean water,
just leave them in there.
Leave them back in.
Yeah.
People are like, if they got a mold, this and that. Well, if you're using good quality stuff,
you shouldn't do it. And if you're using it regularly as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, you
I haven't bought a chamois in 2 years. Still use the same one.
Yeah. It's another thing. It's about finding the right stuff for your car. And like as you know, like we get people in all the time that they're always like, I just want something that's going to clean it. I'm like, okay, well, it'll still clean it, but it's not going to be as good as what you want it to be. It's like, but I don't care. But then people that really want to take care of the car, they'll always spend the extra bit of money. And it's like with anything though. You buy any good quality thing, you're going to get better. Well, you'd hope you'd get better at it.
Get what you pay for.
Exactly right. And I think with like the more expensive end stuff, you really do get that. You see that difference. Like for example, coming from like a home brand sort of stuff, yeah, it'll work, but you won't get the results as easy or as well as as a more expensive product.
And you can really see, like if you pay, someone at High Point to polish your car, it'll cost you $100. Or if you go somewhere like final inspection, Hoppers Crossing, detail your car $500.
Yep.
And then I always say to people, I can kit you out for $500,
and you can
with machines and everything ready to go.
Yep.
And yeah, they love it.
And I reckon it's a great thing because
it's an investment.
It is an investment, and you can stay on top of it, and you learn more about how to do things, and you can pass that on to other people. And I guess that's why the car community is very friendly in that aspect. I mean, you get the idiots, and as you do with any kind of group. But for example, like we saw with the Nugget Nationals, everyone was so helpful, and when you're actually really with a good bunch of peeps, it makes such a difference. And I'm happy to help people in that aspect. So it's good to see like you're pushing that at our work.
I wish we could have like detailing days.
We should have a detailing day
for the next club night. I've offered to put the SS in the store.
Yeah,
and people can even have a go. Everything's fixable.
Yeah, well, to a certain extent.
I'm not going to put a machine on the car.
Don't want to burn your paint, but anyway. Well, look, we're going to get to another break. We're going to go to a song by Clean Bandit. So Clean Bandit's obviously kind of like they're pretty big actually. They had like a #1 song a few months ago. But this one's one of their more least known songs. It's with Marina and the Diamonds. Marina's a really, really kind of funky character. She's a bit of an oddball, and I do kind of like that. So it's weird to see her with a more slower song. So this is Clean Bandit featuring Marina and the Diamonds with Disconnect. You're back on 98.9 Northwest FM. This is CarTorque with Matty J. Still in the studio with Rhys and James. We're talking about Rhys's car. He's doing a few things to it. Your steering wheel controls on your steering wheel, however, are not in the greatest nick.
One was peeled off by a certain someone that had fake names.
Shall not be named. Otherwise, you will not be spending the night inside the house.
Correct.
But during the break, we're having a chat about it, and you said SS parts, especially for that model, are really hard to get.
Extremely hard, because everything with SS was black, interior.
Execs were grey and everything. Everything
was grey.
So it's kind of like, we've had this chat before as well, James, like when you buy a car with, like an obscure car, parts are just never easy to get. Like, for example, with my F6, a $4,000 bumper, it's freaking ridiculous. So, I'm going to put the question out to you. Should car companies make for these rare editions a lot more parts just to have? Because they're just impossible to find.
They are. It's crazy. Like, it's starting to look to the point where, like, you need a steering wheel and some trim, you have to buy another SS. Just to get the parts.
A donor car, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people do. They do buy donor cars. Because sometimes you can get, like, you get your good parts out of it, and then they just flog them off to the next person, and they can use those second-hand parts, I guess. But, upholstering prices, $900 you were telling me during the break, just to get your steering wheel redone as well.
Steering wheel redone. You can buy a brand new one from Holden for like $300.
That's nuts.
In leather.
In leather, yeah.
All I wanted was just, like the
controls.
outside done again.
Yeah.
And, possibly look at steering wheel controls. But $900, just do it.
No.
I'll learn to sew for that price. And then charge other people that price. The steering wheel cover cost me like $30.
Yeah,
that'll do for now.
Just sew it on.
Yeah.
When I was buying this Typhoon steering wheel, because I wanted to get the original FPV Momo one, from Ford they were like $3,000. From Ford they were these Momo steering wheels, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to pay that for a steering wheel. I'd rather do other things, like jump off a cliff. But yeah, I was like, okay, well, where do I find it? And I jumped on the net, and it's a funny story. On eBay, this guy had one. They had them brand new. I'm like, surely he's a fake, like, no way. Anyway, I messaged him. I'm like, hi, interested in buying, because he had them brand new for $650, brand new, in foam and everything. I'm like, hi, interested to come and have a look at it? He's like, yeah, come and have a look. He's like, I'm an ex-Momo stockist. So he used to work for Momo, and he had all these Momo parts, genuine like Ford/Momo parts, laying around his house. So I'm like, all right, I'll come now. And he was only in Taylor's Lakes, and I went to see him. He opens up the garage. He's like, I'll come in. And he had it out for me. I'm like, oh, wow, it's like brand new. Had the FPV badge. It's the genuine Momo stitching, genuine Momo, badging, like in all the right places. It was legit, it was a legit wheel. It had even it came in the Ford box and everything. And I'm like, wow, okay, this is legit. He's like, do you want Momo gear knobs and everything? I'm like, I would, but I don't have any more money because this has cost me $500. But yeah, it was like he got talking to me, and he had a really nice clubby, and he's like, oh, what model F6 you got? He's like, the guy across the road had one with really low Ks. He's like, I should have bought it. He's like, because you don't really find them anymore. But I'm like, you're a Holden guy. He's like, the barrel's not too bad. He's admitting, I'm like, you see. We're converting people one barrow at a time.
You have to.
Hashtag barrow the world. Hashtag not the bachelor. She's got to keep reiterating that point.
The more you say it, the more people are going to get on you. If you just ignore it, no one will mention it. You've ruined it for yourself.
I am officially now like the bachelor. It's not fair. I don't want to be. I don't want to be associated with that damn program. I know my partner is not too happy about that. Me getting around with 30 other girls. Geez, well,
so it is you.
It is me. Matty, geez, that Matty guy's been around with he's around with Katrina this weekend.
They should do a bachelor version, but with cars instead of girls. You'd be the
Tinder for cars.
They've got that though. They've got.
Did see that in the
they've
States.
got Tinder for cars in the States. It's coming to Australia. Real soon, apparently. So I heard it works like it's weird. I heard it works like if you swipe right with someone, it's the same car. You like swap cars and cruise together
cars for as long as you like.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
It's car Tinder, but I'd be too scared. I'd be like, I'm not going to get my car back. I'm going to swipe right to a crappy Corolla because I like Corollas, old ones. And he's going to swipe right on my Typhoon, and he's going to run away with my Typhoon. I'm not going to be able to catch him in a Corolla. I'm like, yeah, that was a big mistake, and my insurance is not going to cover me, and I'm back to square one again with a Corolla. But it is a cool concept though, and it's pretty big in the States, I've heard.
Massive.
So
it's in 50 states, running active with millions of members.
What the hell?
Guys are swapping, Impalas for F trucks, and there was one guy who swapped a Lambo for a Ferrari, and they swapped for 3 months.
You're kidding?
Just to get a good feel of it. Yeah.
What the hell? I don't know if I could trust someone with my car for 3 months. I can't trust my car with someone for
3
20
hours.
minutes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like whenever anyone drives my car, I'm just like, oh. But yeah, it's a bit of a weird feeling, Rhys? Kind of
definitely lending it out. It's like your whole life sitting there in front of you.
But it's everything just sitting there for me in that aspect.
I know for me, I sit in anyone else's car, you have to rev. I just can't help it. Like, you just have to know.
Yeah.
I sit in the rest of the car, I'm like, I'll kill you. Start like hand filing a gun out of whatever you got in your hand, a bit of paper, get it ready.
You're not going anywhere, son. Oh, man. Dude, I was watching, I was on YouTube today, and big ups to Dave. He's a big fan of the show from the States. He always messages me. He messages me a video with Doug DeMuro. He's a car journalist. He's a bit of a how you going kind of guy. But you know what? He's super famous, and he test drives and owns some like crazy cool cars. Anyway, he test drove he was lent a Lexus LFA, and for people that listen to the show, Lexus LFA is like one of my dream cars. Anyway, he took one drive of it, and he's like, "Yep, this is the best selling car I've ever driven." I'm like, you know, how could someone just throw you the keys to a $400,000 supercar and not even care? It's just like, here you go, just go drive it. I'd be like, I'd be too scared to even start the damn thing. Like, I'd be that terrified. So
I couldn't afford to start
yeah,
it.
I don't think my insurance would cover me for too much. I mean, I'd be like too like scared to like, but I'd like want to put the foot down, but I'd be like,
Instead of revs on the dial, it has like $sign. Like, it just keeps going up every time. The more you rev, the more higher price it goes.
50,000, 100,000. You sell your house.
So you end up just driving it really slow.
Instead of boost, it's ching, 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 cashing out.
Cash it out, like, we may as well hit the casino and try to win it back. But yeah, it's. I don't know if I could do the car Tinder. I really don't know if I could.
Cars and girls, two things can't Tinder.
Can't
Won't give up either of them.
Oh man, yeah, it's got a name. I forgot what it's called. It's not called Car Tinder. It's called Car. Jeez, I forgot the name of it. It's got a proper name. So if you know what the name is, send it to the show and we'll talk about it next week. But anyway, we're going to get to our last song of the night. We're going to go to a song by Australian artist Meg Mac. The song's called Low Blows, and we'll be right back after this. You're back on CarTorque with Matty J. Last few minutes of the show. Funniest moment of the day, though, for back in the Nugget Nationals, was we bought helitones for it, and you've seen the car, Rhys. So
yes,
yeah,
I saw them. I saw the hellas.
So we had trouble installing them because for some reason someone did an aftermarket alarm system on the car, and they've cut the original horn and put it to the backup horn. But then the backup horn wasn't working, so someone kind of hashed it to the real horn. So we were trying to make it work with the helitones. We got them working, but then we had the issue of when we were driving to the track. For some reason, when we turn, it'd start to beep. We're like, oh crap! Of all the things to go wrong now. So on Matt's first run out there, he said in the corner, it's like beep 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 beep.
He drives around on the track for his first run. He's like meep 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 meep.
It sounded like
Roadrunner.
Yeah.
And as soon as he came back in, we disconnected
we took the relay out, and we're like, yeah, nah. And on the way back, we put it back in. So we get the people on the way out. That was a good laugh. But yeah, you saw how clean it was, Rhys. It's a clean car.
Yeah, it was awesome, man.
Really, really cool little car. But yeah,
not a speck of oil under the bonnet, nothing. It was incredibly clean.
It's immaculate. Like that's what everyone said. They couldn't believe how clean it was. They're like, it's kind of like sacrilege to ruin a good, nice little car like this. But you know what? That's motor racing. That's what we do. Future mods for your car, Rhys. You said you want to do the cowl, yeah? We've got a couple minutes to go, so...
Going to find a second-hand bonnet and put a HDT VL scoop on it.
Very nice.
I reckon that'd be pretty cool. Had a VK come into work yesterday.
Okay.
Had the same bonnet, same colour. Almost unbolted the bonnet on him.
Just take it. Where's that going?
Like, what are you doing with the spanner?
Mate, just go to all 5 for about 20 minutes and I'll come give you a hand. No, once you put that on there, it'll really finish it off.
That'll pretty much be it for a little while.
And then you're going to do the...
Turbo time.
No, Barra.
Can't do it. Can't do it to the fellow holding owners.
LS Wags will be Barra Wags. But yeah, anyway, this has been CarTorque with Matty J. Tune in next week, 7 p.m. to our show. James' show's at 6 p.m. Man vs. Movie, so always listen to that. Tune in, like, rate and review. Subscribe, rate and review our iTunes podcast. So if you've missed any of our other episodes, they're on iTunes as well as they're on Shat Engine as well. So shatengine.com, which is a really good hosting site for podcasts. But if you use iTunes, you can get us on iTunes as well. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a good subscribe and give us a good review, which would be great. Which will only help us get up on the higher in the chart, so we can be more seen and get the show further out.
And if you're on Instagram, check out hashtag Matty J Not The Bachelor, and you will see all the pictures coming up slowly.
So yeah, check that hashtag out, and check out my Instagram page, which is CarTorque podcast _ with Matty J. Get on those things. I think I completely messed that up, but anyway. But that's all we've got time for this week. So tune in next week, and I'll see you guys then. Take it easy.
This is professional radio, gentlemen.
And it's front-wheel drive.
Scotty, have you got anyone you want to thank?
Just myself.
And now we do the after hours. Dun, dun, dun.
Gentlemen, what would you go for?
Dacia Sandero.
Okay, and because it's not a supercar.
But it is.
It's not.
Automotive perfection comes in the form of two letters, A and U.
Long live my LTD.